Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I can't believe it's October already, time for Halloween, so decided to go ahead and do a Halloween wreath tutorial. So I used 4 rolls of tulle and got this foam wreath from Michaels, so all the supplies I'll have listed in the link below. And what I decided to do is just kind of eyeball how long I wanted the tulle tails, I guess is what I'll call it, to be. And then once I cut that, I kind of measured out, it was about 16 inches. And what I found to be easy for me was to go ahead and measure out 16 inches, and my cutting mat actually, or my craft mat below actually does have guides, so I went ahead and used that. I originally was eyeballing and kind of just cutting and putting it up against each other, but I found that kind of be hard because I would get distracted and it would be too long. And so I figured it was just easier just to go ahead and cut everything all at once. Anyways, what you're going to go ahead and do is just kind of take 2 of the tulle and tie it up together, just because you don't want it to be so sheer. Just tie it in kind of knot you want. And just to kind of show you, here's 4 I've done already. And you just push it up together. And then, once it's really tight, you will go ahead and even everything out. So, actually, it's fast forward now, it's nighttime. I was kind of doing it on and off throughout the day, so it didn't take me that long, but I was just kind of doing other things as well. And I just showed you my last one, and then you're just going to fluff out all of the tulle. And as I mentioned, if it's kind of uneven, it's fine. You can always give it a haircut, which I'm going to show you on the next segment of the video, right here, where I was kind of looking at everything. So I just get a scissor and trim it out. As I mentioned, I used 4 rolls of tulle, and depending on how tight or loose you want it, it would be, how many rolls you needed. I really like it kind of tight, so. And then I actually had found this placemat at the dollar store, and I was trying to figure out where I wanted it. And I figured I wanted a little bit more off-centered than centered, just to kind of add a little bit of interest. So just flipped it over. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply some hot glue. So just be very careful. I actually burnt myself every time I use a glue gun. Well, I want to say maybe, unfortunately, 2 out of 10 times I'm always burning myself. So I actually did burn myself this time around again. So just kind of going through and adding glue and being really careful. And then once everything's dry, I decided to go ahead and kind of cut the felt placemat off, the excess. You technically could leave it on, and I originally was going to leave it on, and then when I turned it over, even though the tulle is pretty thick, when you kind of put it in the light, you can kind of see outlines of the spider web. So I decided just to go ahead and cut it off, and it was pretty easy actually. And now here comes the fun part, decorating. So I got all these decorating supplies over at Michaels. The spider came from a pick set, and I went ahead and just got a wire cutter and cut the spider. And then I decided to go ahead and just put it right in the center of where the center was. I just wanted the one that had the most felt so I can lay down the spider. So I just kind of pushed him on there. And then I ended up actually gluing the legs. I didn't film it, but I wanted it to be kind of spread out on the spider web. So I decided to do that kind of as an afterthought, which I didn't film. Then I grabbed these flowers. I bought them last year from Michaels. I like them because it also has the spider design. The white ones have the little black spider, the white flowers, and then the black flowers have gray spider webs. So it kind of went with the full design of the actual wreath. So I decided to go ahead and kind of figure out how I wanted to line them. And then I basically just got some hot glue and glued it back on. And then after that, I was thinking it looked kind of plain, so I decided I wanted to add a bow. So I just made a small bow. I didn't want a big bow because it would be really distracting because there's a lot going on already with the wreath. And I was just trying to figure it out where I wanted to lay it. And I kind of at first started maybe across from the flowers. But then I kind of thought it was just too distracting. And then I decided to try it out underneath the flowers, see if I liked it. So I thought that made a lot of sense to put it under there. As I mentioned, not as distracting, and it added a little bit of kind of that, I don't know, special something without being so distracting. Glue that on, and that basically finishes the wreath. I'm going to zoom in so you can see details of the actual flowers as well as the spiders. Thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in seeing more from me, please subscribe. Next 2 photos are the full wreath. Thanks again. Bye.